Collaboration can be chaotic, or it can be powerful. It all depends on how ideas get shared, how people listen, and how well the group stays focused. When a team brings together different perspectives and supports each other instead of silently competing, something really interesting happens. New ideas start to appear that no one person would have thought of alone. That is the true magic of collaborative thinking. Think about any time you've been in a group discussion and someone mentioned something you never would have considered. Suddenly, your brain sparks. You connect dots differently. You see angles that were invisible before. That's the power of diversity in thought. One person sees the problem from the visual angle. Another sees it emotionally. Another sees it logically. And these viewpoints start to shape each other. Even disagreements can be helpful, as long as they stay respectful instead of heated. When conflict stays rooted in curiosity instead of ego, it becomes a tool for deeper insight. Creating a space where everyone feels safe to speak is critical. If one person feels judged or shut down, the group loses valuable potential, so the environment matters. When the room feels open and supportive, even the quietest voices contribute. And those quieter voices often bring surprising ideas that shift the direction of the entire conversation. That's why psychological safety isn't a soft, optional feature, it's the engine behind innovation. Active listening is another key piece. We all know what fake listening looks like: nods, eye contact, but mentally, the listener is forming their next reply instead of processing what's being said. True listening with the intention to understand, changes everything. It builds trust. It builds clarity. It builds connection. And that connection fuels smarter thinking. Clear goals matter too. Without direction, collaboration turns into drift. People talk in circles. They waste time. They repeat the same ideas. But when everyone knows exactly what the group is trying to achieve, every contribution feels more targeted, the conversation becomes sharper, momentum grows, and progress becomes real instead of theoretical. Visualization is another powerful tool. When people can see a problem physically drawn out, mapped out, sketched, complex issues suddenly feel simpler. The brain works better when it can see patterns instead of just holding them in the air. A whiteboard, sticky notes, a flowchart. These aren't just props. They are focus tools. They anchor the conversation and keep ideas aligned with the problem. There's also the challenge of managing egos. Collaboration breaks down instantly when one person wants to win more than they want to solve the problem. The best collaborative teams learn how to pause, reset, and refocus the conversation on what actually matters, not who gets credit, but what moves the idea forward. Reflection is crucial too, looking back on what worked, what didn't, what made progress stall. This is where growth happens. Collaboration is a skill. It improves with practice and review. And sometimes, a little playful thinking helps loosen up stuck ideas. Fun boosts creativity. A silly exercise or imaginative what-if moment often unlocks something serious and valuable. In the end, collaborative thinking is not a formula. It's a human process. It takes patience, openness, trust, and the willingness to keep showing up. But when a group commits to the journey, when they truly collaborate, the ideas they create together are almost always stronger than anything they could have created alone. That's the power of collective minds working as one.